The Siamese Black Magic in Thailand. Final chapter. The Luku Black Magic. Raising a Ghost Child. In a time of recession, many peoples think of rearing Lukat to change their fortune. However, a woman named Nanla, a divorcee working in the hotel industry, was brave enough to use drops of her blood to rear the Lukat to attain her objective of getting rich. Nanla started raising the Lukat many years ago, and she now has 4 children at home, 2 are by birth, and the other is the Lukat. Many years ago, all sorts of ill fates arrived at the same time for these women. Firstly, it was the divorce, and she had to look after her 2 sons and bear the financial burden. That was a challenging task, and his divorced husband disappeared after owing people a huge sum of monies. The creditors then came after her. Not only it substantially affected her family, but it also affected her career. Her boss started to give her trouble, and she almost lost her job with all those pressures landing on her. Nanla said she was already at a dead end and attempted many ways to resolve her problems but failed. When she was in acute depression, she knew a sorcerer. After learning her problems, the sorcerer suggested that she rear Lukat for a change of her fortune. Like most people, Nanla was hesitant initially as she was afraid and doubtful of its effect. After the sorcerer had explained everything to her, she decided to have one adopted at home and made it her 3rd son. The Lukat must be placed in the first position at home, so my 2-born child must address him as the elder brother. Strangely, the 2 sons were not afraid. They pay full respect for their new elder brother. The Lukat must be treated like a family member, an extra plate of rice must be placed on the table when having a meal at home, and if toys were bought for the other 2 sons, they must have a share too. After adopting Lukat, Nanla's fortune changed for the better. Everything was happening so fast, the creditors were no longer suppressive and allowed me flexible terms on payment, everything was ideal at the workplace. However, the immediate superior is not causing trouble anymore. Nanla feels more relaxed, so the work pressure is not so intense. However, with a more steady lifestyle and a peaceful mind, the financial situation has not improved much. So Nanla sought the sorcerer's help again and wished to adopt another, more powerful Lukat. Rearing the Lukat, I took about a year back. I need to offer drops of my blood every day for the first 49 days of rearing. After that, I will have to poke with a needle into the middle finger of my left hand and push the blood gently to drop them at the center between the eyebrows of the Lukat head. After that, I had to light up 9 incense sticks and do the chanting the sorcerer gave. After 49 days, I still need to feed them with my blood, but I only do it on the 1st and 15th days of every month. Nanla confirmed that she adopted more than 1 Lukat merely out of greed, hoping that she would make more money and be able to switch to a better position. She always hoped that she would get a transfer to another department at the hotel to have better promotions and to increase in salary since her immediate boss was ever having a grudge against her and blocking her way. So after adopting the Lukat, I said, "My son, Mama, wishes to be transferred to another department. Can you help me?" Not long after, the company allowed me to be transferred to another department. Nanla said that as though some benefactor was helping her. She was promoted to a new position, and with her salary increased, she could clear the debts faster. Following an unexplainable incident happened. My doctor earlier diagnosed that I have a kidney stone, which was confirmed through an X-ray taken. After adopting Lukat, the doctor told me that the stone has disappeared for no reason. As such, Nanla took for granted that it was the help of the Lukat. She stated that all 5 members of the family are getting along harmoniously. However, she said she always dreamt that the 2 Lukat held her hand and said, "Mama, we will take you out to play." She continued, "I always dreamed they took me out to stroll the streets and to roam the garden, and we were all pleased." She further described the appearance of the Lukat. "They are both adorable, and their mouths do not move when they speak. But I fully understood their words and knew they were my sons." The Lukat has brought good fortune to Nanla, and since she has agreed to adopt them, she has to keep them for life, and the Lukat will always take orders from her. If she should someday possess bad intentions and direct the Lukat to cause harm to others, she will get retribution in the end. If one day Nanla gets uncontrollably greedy and orders the Lukat to bring her more benefits, her nightmare will start from the moment the evil thought in her is conceived. There is no differentiation between the good and the bad of the Lukat. The crucial point is the state of the mind of its master. Sacre amulet that breaks the tiger black magic. As everybody knows, the tiger is, by nature, a heroic and formidable animal. So how would the effect be when using the tiger's fur, skin, and bones to prepare the tiger black magic? The following story will illustrate this fact. In a particular department store in Pattaya, Thailand, a top-level management of the department's officer named Songsai, with a family background of a sorcerer, was highly skilled. Songsai was not interested in becoming a sorcerer, so he did not learn the skill from his father. Though Songsai did not know the craft, he was fully aware of the power of black magic and its effect. Songsai requested his father to recite the mantras and cast the tiger black magic on him for peace and protection. The tiger is a ferocious animal. Only if the sorcerer can obtain any part of the tiger and use it to cast a spell by chanting mantras will it turn into a powerful tiger black magic. Then, when the tiger black magic is released on a person, the person will possess a prestigious deposition, and others will be afraid when they encounter him. So Songsai casts a spell on himself because he wants all the subordinates to be scared and obedient to him, with the help of the tiger black magic. As a result, Songsai began to abuse his power over his associates. And whenever his subordinates made some mistakes, he would have them scolded excessively. Nobody liked him at the workplace but did not dare to counter him. Whenever his associates saw him, it was as though they saw a tiger and dared not even utter a word, seeing the powerful effect of the tiger black magic. He was pleased and felt that he would soon be able to control the whole of his department. However, there was an employee named Naiwan at the departmental store. Each time he saw Songsai, he would be so scared that his whole body would tremble, and he could not utter a word. Whenever he thought of Songsai, he would be so uncomfortable that he would lose his appetite. As a result, he was unable to sleep well at night and was awakened by the ferocious appearance of Songsai in the middle of the night. He was under such mental torture that he could not focus on his work. When his wife saw that the husband was in such a state, she asked what was happening. After the wife knew about it, she thought a subordinate could not be so afraid of the boss to such an extent. So, after discussing it with her husband, she went to a shrine to look for a spiritual master to find out what was happening. But instead, the sorcerer sent his spiritual messenger to the departmental store to find out the situation and make the report back. When the spiritual master heard that the tiger black magic was protecting Naiwai's superior Songsai, no wonder it caused Naiwai to be under such an unlucky condition and a horrible situation. Suddenly, Naiwai told the spiritual master a shocking happening. Because of the fear of my superior, my sex life is greatly affected, and I can't be myself when performing my sexual activity. As a result, my wife always complains and thinks I am flirting outside. No one would have known his fear affected his sex life if he did not mention it. Finally, the spiritual master pacified Naiwai and said it was only temporary due to his anxiety. Then, the spiritual master gave Naiwai a sacred amulet by one of the 10 guru monks in Thailand named Luang Phorpern and requested Naiwai to wear it consistently, and ensure that his problems and obstacles would be removed soon. It is said that when Luang Phorpern was cultivating his divinity in the high mountain, even the tigers would not get near or interfere with him. They protected him from afar. Luang Phorpern was later known as the Tiger Mounting Arahant. His sacred amulet is deemed the most appropriate to counter the tiger black magic. After Naiwai received the protection of Luang Phorpern amulets and with the help of the spiritual master, when Naiwai met his superior again, he was no longer scared. A year later, Naiwai was blessed with a son, and he was so happy and celebrated his newborn son on the full moon with his friend and relatives and also countering the tiger black magic with the amulet of Luang Phorpern. After that, Naiwai brings his colleagues to the shrine of the Guru Master to look for the sacred amulets. His fear of the superior is eliminated, and he no longer feels suppressed. Later, Niwai found a new and better job with higher pay and left the department store. He was then able to lead a life free from worries and danger.